feel today? Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And don't do that!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's hunt now! Let's hunt now! Let's go! Let's hunt! We ready! And don't do that! And don't do that!
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yap, 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 yap. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps.
It's embarrassing.
Yap, 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 yap.
Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them.
He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man.
You already make the big money.
He's a man.
Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there.
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We ready! And don't do that! And don't do that! It's a wrap. Game over. Here we go. Another Monday lunch break HBC Stroll with yours truly, Johnnie Cold-Blooded Cole. Today I got some very, very good guests, but before I bring them on, I just want to thank JM&E, AJ Jones, and I want to give a shout out to my folks, Rocky and Keisha Miller, property taxes, and also they got what we call a great cigar opportunity. That's called Slow Burn. You can go to Slow Burn, just like it's spelled, waco.com, and get your cigars, because they do a great job and getting your cigars to you on time and give me an opportunity where I can relax after a good day's work. But next, I want to just say one thing about my show. The guys I'm about to bring in is what I call in the foxhole. They're great gentlemen. This is not a show about them against us. It's really a show about we. And my whole goal is to help America get strong. And there's a great big disparity in college sports, of course, as well as the NFL, compared to the constituents who actually play the game, college football. And it's really across college sports and the people who control the game. And in other words, that Black coaches don't get the opportunities and don't have the opportunities. I just want to read out a couple of stats before I bring our coaches on, and we just gonna chop it up. 86% of athletic directors in college football are white. 84% of college football head football coaches are white. So that brings a problem of, you go down to the HBCU level, and these gentlemen I'm gonna bring out that I've followed their career. I think they're great, and a lot of times people say, we don't know them. We don't know them. How can we get to them? You want to hire somebody you're comfortable with, and I get that, and that's why it's not a Black problem. It's not a white problem. It's a us problem. It's people of color, the white constituents. We have to get together and make sure that we have a playing field, because not only is it just about football, it's about economics. It's about coaches that's on the Division I level, the majority white, are making millions, and coaches on the Black college levels, some of them are actually living in their office, and it shouldn't be that way. It's not fair. And it's just something that I want to bring awareness to. So in saying that, I'm ready to bring guys on. I got Richard Freeman, head coach, Morehouse. I call him the dinosaur. There's no more coaches really in football that can stay in one place for over 12 years. So that's how a great guy he is. We trying to get him out of there so he can go up top. Next is he worked for me 1 year at Lane College and helped us become a winner. Mike Armour, he's up in Northern Colorado. Man's been offensive coordinator. Tried to get a head coach at Alcorn State. Just a great guy. He's been around. He's kind of a difference between us four because he actually went to Eastern Michigan and played ball up there and started his college coaching career on the PWI level. Then next is my man Vernon Brown, Lane College. Man, you're making them forget us, man. Freeman and Mike, you're making them forget us.
I know.
He's the second coach in 30 years of football there to bring them from a losing program to a winning program.
That's awesome.
I know he's going for the SIC championship. Don't jump on him. My next guy, now Keaton is a guy that, wasn't necessarily a player in college, but he's a student of the game. And then he's done it really the rough way. He started off not necessarily as a player, but started off as a student coaching. And he's been behind some great coaches that I know, and he's doing a great job out at Allen University. Hello, guys. Hello.
What's up, Coach?
Hey, Coach.
Man, this
Thanks
is our show. It's our opportunity. I'm gonna start off with the old guy up top. Just kind of tell us where you are, Coach Freeman.
Well, first and foremost, I bind that up. I'm not the old guy. I think I might be the second to the oldest you call. So I need to shave this gray beard. But Rich Freeman, head coach at Morehouse College.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, Michael Armour, tight ends coach here at the University of Northern Colorado, going on my 12th season here.
Wow. All right, Vernon.
How you doing, Coach JC and my brothers? Mr. Cold-Blooded himself, thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
Head coach, Vernon Brown, Lane College Dragons.
Teddy Keith, you got it. I love those glasses.
Appreciate it.
My brother said that you was going to do something to take steal the show from him. I love the glasses.
Well, he called me Little Johnny. I've been told I was that like 3 4 times. I grew up watching you. I used to come to Alabama State and watch the games and saw how well you did things. So you guys were kind of like idols to me when I was growing up. But I'm Teddy Keaton, head football coach here at Allen University.
All right, guys. Like I said earlier, man, when I look at us in black college football, and I even hate to even name it black college football because I guess that's one of the problems because they don't think that we play football, and it ain't us against them. My job is to bring you guys and showcase that we have guys in these situations, in these places that know how to talk, that know how to run a program, that know how to be a CEO. And, I just want to introduce you guys to my audience. We on ROKU TV, YouTube. Of course, you heard my producer saying that we're going to go to Fire Stick and a lot of things. And it's important for us and for me to get you guys out there to see. With Coach Freeman, like I said, you've been around a long time. Your thoughts on some of those numbers that I brought up to you.
I tell you, that's alarming, because I know that the numbers of the participants, the African Americans that are actually carrying the sport, I know that doesn't just match up, and it kind of makes you feel like you're good enough to play, but on that highest level, really, as you mentioned with the numbers, on every level, you're good enough to play the sport. But you may not necessarily be the best choice to be the CEO or be the person that's out front, the facilitator, the teacher of the sport. So that's what I get out of it.
Yeah. What about you, Coach Keaton? You kind of went a different route. You actually coached an arena lead as well. I'm not sure how that league was disparity. And believe me, and I always want to say it ain't about race. This is just about bringing awareness to it that they put us in a little hole in the positions that we all fighting over that one or two position, and it really shouldn't be that way. What about you, Coach Keith?
Well, I feel like, people in society in itself tries to put you in a box. And they get discomfort when you try to get outside of that box. Us as African American males, I actually was the offensive coordinator at PWI. Did really well there. Took their program from 77th in the country to like number 24 in the country. But at the same time, at that table, I was the only African American male there. So when you talk about trying to be in a room where you almost have to change yourself, those who know me, I pride myself as no matter what table I am, whatever room I walk in, I'm going to go in as Teddy Keaton. I don't want to be the best version of somebody else. I want to be the best version of me. And I think that's what make them feel uncomfortable sometimes when they talk about going into somebody's room. We're voiceful. We're loud. We're good enough to coach the running backs. We're good enough to coach the skill guys, but we're not trained enough to be able to train a quarterback. In my time in Division II, since I was at Stillman here and at Weber, I've always had a top quarterback. I'm currently sitting on one right now that's number 8 in HBCU football.
Wow.
I know how to find them. I know where they're at, and I know how to develop one. But to get people to see that they find out that there's a young black male who's developing a quarterback, which we know that's the most sacred position on anybody's field, it kind of makes it's intimidating, nor do they want to know how you're doing it, or nor do they even open the door for an opportunity for you to get a chance to show anybody you can do it.
Yeah. Well, I know Mike, you've been on both sides of the table, and I don't want to put you in a fit, because I know you got to go back to Northern Colorado. It ain't about how you feel. We just shooting it out, Coach. But you've done a great job wherever you've gone. I can't say enough about you when you coordinated us. Jacoby Jones, 3rd round draft pick. We averaged about 30 some points a game. I don't think you got that record yet, Vernon, but
we was at 33.4 until about the last 2 games. We end up with 30 though.
Okay. What about you, Mike?
I think the one thing is that if we are given the opportunity and to show what we got, and also not only to have the players, but also have the staff that's in cooperation with you, you got a chance to really, really be successful. It's alarming that the numbers, like Rich said, is just really just very, very alarming to me. But I think the big thing is, again, given the opportunity and know that you're not on a short leash. You got to have time to develop the kids and also the coaches that's around you to know your system and develop the players at the different positions. It's tough at times, but the big thing, like now I've been coaching tight ends since I've been at the University of Northern Colorado, but my background is a quarterback. I played quarterback all my life.
Quarterback.
Hey, I don't know no other position.
Look, I said, and you was good at it.
Yeah, and so
you took Eastern Michigan to some of his own, the only winning seasons they had.
Hey, I had a great one that was behind me, Coach. Trust me, and he ended up becoming old Charlie Batch, who played 15 years in the league.
Yeah.
So
Charlie Batch.
Yeah, and he learned behind me, and he developed behind me and became a great one. So I know I can coach a position whenever I'm given the opportunity. I love to go back to coaching that. Right now, what I do is I do the tight ends, and I love doing it. It gives me a chance to, first of all, recruit a different type of athlete, somebody that with some length, that can run, got to be able to do everything, block, no pass protections, run calls, everything. So he's a person that got to know all the things, just like as a quarterback pretty much.
Yeah.
But, like I said, given the opportunity, again, I would love to coach that. Right now, I'm coaching the tight ends, and, hey, I'm even learning more about the special teams because I help out in that as well. But People like it's like what Coach Keaton said. When you get out of your box, it kind of makes people uncomfortable. I can go into any household, whether he's white, whether he's black, whether he's Hispanic, whether he's of a different race, and be able to recruit them and get them to our campus.
Yeah. One of the things you said was about even when we get opportunities, statistics say that we get shorter time to make it happen. According to a coach of color getting a head job and one without, they get a lot more time than we have to turn the program around. I know me and Vernon, we chopped it up and we kind of had the same philosophy and
Right.
Vernon, it told me about it. That wasn't his thing, but you go ahead on and explain, Coach.
Well, for me, I mean, the numbers are alarming. My biggest thing is, yes, PWI schools or people in power with those schools feel better when you have a relationship built with them already. And my thing is, this is my 20th year. I started coaching college football in 2002, as soon as I got through playing for Doug Williams at Grambling. And over that time, I've seen a lot of guys that's in my same age range that are not black get opportunity at schools that are multi-millionaires right now. So I think with networking and getting the opportunity to go in there, present yourself without changing who you are is going to help us. And like Coach said, we all have been fighting for the same position. I mean, I've coached everything on the offensive side of the ball, besides the offensive line, and I can demonstrate double team rub, kick step. I mean, you got to be able to do it all. I first started out there Grambling coaching defense and back.
Financial aid office.
And
then go to housing. Call on the phone and say,
listen,
are y'all getting that? Are y'all getting that play done?
Go to housing, go to financial aid, go to academic career, whatever you had to do to get it done. Our job is bigger than just sitting at the desk doing X's and O's. That's the last thing. That's the happy part of the job for us. The rest of the job is making sure, like right now, if y'all in a situation like I'm in, I'm on the phone. We are recruiting because we worrying about how many I'm gonna get in summer school right now for us. But so
go ahead.
So for me, it's about starting early. If any young coaches out there, like my quarterback coach, just left to be an offensive analyst for the University of Texas, and that ought to show people right now that we do play football here at Lane College. We are very knowledgeable on offense and defense, and guys get their opportunity to get in front of people at different schools. I mean, they should be afforded that opportunity, So we playing solid football over here. We play solid football in our conference, and we do more coaching at our level than anybody. And I know everybody on here agree with that. We don't get the ready-made players. We don't get the ready-made players, and guess what we got to do? We got to adjust our game. We got development, and we got to adjust our game plan to who we have. I mean, we can't be everything who we think we are. Because guess what? If you ain't getting first down and scoring touchdown, that don't mean nothing.
Right. But Coach Freeman, of course, that's just on the PWI side. So now you got 20 black colleges, with head coaching positions. And, you want, I can't say enough about your consistency there at Morehouse. And I guess you could speak more of a young coach because I've seen you start off in this business. So now we all fighting for these 20 spots. And now our ADs and athletic directors are starting to look at PWI schools and bringing these guys in. So that don't add it more pressure and more, make it more tough on guys that have actually graduated from black college. A guy like Keaton who's done it the right way, a guy like Vernon Brown, a guy like Mike Armour, it makes us even, then they're going to get guys off the couch. What's your take on that?
Well, I definitely don't want to go against the grain with what it is that we're discussing here. I really feel like what we're doing is a calling, no question about it. I feel like our calling, after having worked with yourself and Coach Cole, one of the things I wanted to do was whenever I got in charge of my own program, I wanted to be able to to bring a level of professionalism to the coaching realm that my predecessors or the players hadn't seen, the administration hadn't seen. I thank God for, my exposure to Coach Cole, that development of the director of football operations position. I really think in black college football, I really feel like it came off that campus that we had over at Tennessee State back in that 1997 through 2000 season. That became a bona fide position. And one of the things I wanted us to get away from, the stigma as HBCU coaches, that we show up with jogging suits on, that we drink all night long after practice, we come to work late, we can't put a subject and a verb together when we're communicating with parents, and we've seen some of that. Some of us as players, we've seen that now with our coaches. And if you look at your Joe Taylors, and if you look at your Billy Joes, you look at your Pete Richardson, some of the guys that have gone on to become icons, they've come back and they've taken some of the exposures that they've had from places outside of the umbrella of HBCU football, and they brought that back, and that has kind of sprinkled down. On the converse, you look at guys like Joe Gillum, and you look at guys like John Merritt, who spent a great deal of their time right there on HBCU campuses.
Yeah.
So
Eddie Robinson, Jake Gaithers.
Eddie Robinson. So I'm quite content. I don't want to use the word content. That's a slippery word. But I'm content, if you will, with trying to still do that, trying to still teach my coaches. And you don't have to dog curse this kid, or you don't have to curse a coach out just because he didn't meet the mark. You go ahead and sanction the young man and move forward and try to build him. So I'm still on that tip. I don't think that could ever get old.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, another alarming stat, and I'm like the Grim Reaper, huh? Yeah. There's only been 2 coaches that leave black colleges and go on to a Division I-A job. One of them was Willie Jeffries in 1978. He went to Wichita State from South Carolina. And the other one was Hobson from Alcorn State, which is what? A white guy.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Armor, how we get around that? How can we get you back? How can we get you a head job?
Well, Coach, right now,
get you a head job.
Right now, Coach, I'm not gonna say I'm content with University of Northern Colorado. I'm happy to be here. Oh, yeah. Happy to be actually retained by Coach Ed McCaffrey, who's been real supportive of my family in the things that we've been through this past year with the loss of my wife, Alicia. Right. But one thing that we have to do is, first of all, like myself, some of those things I've applied for, some of them I haven't. And the big thing that we have to do is when we get our chance, like I said, once we get our chance, our leash is short and we got to make it happen, period. And like what Freeman said I want to get back to, you said the coaches that was on the couch. I know a lot of these schools are going after big names with hardly any experience. But one thing they're doing, like my boss, he's not a experienced college coach, but he's been in the high school ranks and he's learning every day too. My voice is heard in the room, whereas some of these guys at what I want to say PWI schools, their voices are not heard at the table. Is heard in the recruiting piece, and there's a process that they got to go through in order to get the kid on the recruiting board. But I think that like Deion Sanders, he's doing a great job down there. But Deion went on the couch, guys. Deion was at a high school in Dallas, a pretty good one. I could never get anybody out of there because they were all going to PWIs bigger than Northern Colorado. But I commend him. He's doing a great job. down there. I know Eddie George. I don't know too much about him as a coach, but I know that, in the recruiting process, his name was probably going a mile or two with kids where, hey, I want to give Tennessee State a look just because that guy has been in the league. And it's the same thing at our school. Ed McCaffrey spent 14 years in the NFL. There are some kids that we would have never got, whether he was white or black, if it wasn't for him playing and going through his experience and everything. So those guys are doing a good job. I would love to go against, schedule them on the schedule and meet them in person and things of that nature at the coaches convention. And, it is what it is right now, but we got to make it better. Got to make it better.
Well, Johnny, can I step in? Michael's been well trained. I ain't been trained that well.
Well, hey, you was next on the block because I said I got two fire cats just waiting.
Look here, Michael. I like all that you just said.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
But I promise you, I don't do nothing to be second best.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And here's the thing, Coach. Go ahead, Coach. Because I'll tell you our Alcorn situation.
Coach, I've been a head coach since I was 26 years old.
Wow.
I'm 45 now. I've had 5 losing seasons. 5, and 3 of them came from here. And I started this program from the ground up.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. I've had the likes of Matt Leone that worked for me. He's the offensive coordinator at North Carolina Central. I had the likes of Travis Trickett, who is the offensive coordinator at FIU that worked for me. I could go down a list of people that have worked under me. That's all gone. My strength and conditioning coach, he just left to go to Cal Berkeley. I look at it like this. Why not me?
Right.
I'm not going to dumb myself down. I'm not going to walk in the room and say A, B, C, D, and E. I've had the number 1 offense and almost 4 times in the SIAC. I've done more than most people have done, but I can't get an opportunity. I know Nick Saban. I can call him on his phone. I know some of these people, and I asked him when I sat in front of him. I said, he asked me, what you want to do, Keith? I said, I want to be you. And I said, let me scratch that. I want to be better than you. I have that type of belief, and I think that sometimes they dummy us down.
Yeah.
And they want us to live inside a box that they want us to live in, and they just want us to go in the room and say, yes, sir, no, sir. But if I don't agree with something, I feel like I have to open my mouth and say it.
That's
and
right.
If I don't agree, if we're trying to win, and this is what we're in here trying to do, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I have no ego. As everybody know, I got LC Cole. I had people to call me. Mm-hmm. Why you hire LC Cole? Why you bring LC Cole? He been this. I'm not worried about LC Cole. If anything, me and LC Cole can make each other better.
Right.
I'm not trying to worry about whether he gonna come in and backstab me. I need a guy that's gonna be on the same level that I'm on and trying to win. And as far as I know, the reputation he got, like I told a guy the other day, I don't have a heaven or a hell to place either one on me. Yeah. But I do have an opportunity that a guy that I know that knows defensive football, because I followed him at Stillman College, and a lot of that success that I had at Stillman was predicated off the human beings that he left there.
Well,
and
LC,
I'm okay with giving a person a credit for what he needed to have.
And LC Cole was one of the most respected coaches at Eastern Michigan. He was our running back coach there, where our head coach wouldn't discipline a certain guy, where LC would.
Yeah,
and that went a long way with our team. And to also Coach Keaton, my opportunity at Alcorn, I came in second place after Hobson, behind Hobson, and it was the first time where the SWAC had hired actually a white head coach in the SWAC, first time in history. Yeah. And I thought I did a hell of a job. I was prepared for the interview. Coach Dave announced me in the Clarion Ledger, the Jackson newspaper, as the head coach. And so I had to answer those questions. At the time, she was my girlfriend, but eventually becoming my wife. She said, hey, you didn't tell me you took the Alcorn job. I said, babe, I don't know what you're talking about, because it wasn't things that was discussed as far as a recruiting budget, things of that nature. What was the salary going to be? I was brought in after my first year at Alcorn, and I thought I had done a great job with the interview. And when it was time for my interview, Coach, they wanted they were all in the in the what I want to say the staff room or the administration room where everybody holds their meetings at. Hell, they were eating lunch and asked me, did I want some? I said, no, I don't have time for that. I want to present you with the interview. Maybe I should have ate lunch with them. But, you know, I thought I did a great job. I felt that, you know, and that was 12 years ago. And so now I think I'm well prepared than I was 12 years ago because I learned every year. Yeah. And it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking for you to not drive, but actually be flown down there first class. It was first class. And by your own people. And Hobson did a good job. I can't knock him for him. I know Jay. And he did a great job. He led them to championships, and that's what they wanted. But they did it with a guy and Jay has a lot of connections in Vicksburg. He's from there. And when people say, hey, it's politics, man, sometimes that word is used loosely. Yeah. But I knew right off the bat.
Well, Michael, I won't say it's politics, but you also got to look at what they did for him when they hired him. See, a lot of situations, even with this Jackson State situation, Jackson State been struggling for years. Nobody come along, but when Dion come along, we open up all the resources that you could have gave to somebody else. Now, Rick Comedy, in my eyes, did a really good job with that. They won the swag. They did everything they needed to do. That kind of bothers me.
Yeah. Coach
but we want to race him out the history.
Get Coach Brown in there because you know his whole goal is to stay in black college and get one of them head jobs and like I said, they they're going to get people off the couch and I that's unfair. Of course, they got Hugh Jackson in there and he don't bounce from the NFL. He bounced from the NFL all the way down to Grambling State, and I think Coach Brown just dropped off.
They say he couldn't hear us, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He'll come back. And, I think he was in route for that job. Coach Freed.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's been a long time over at Morehouse. You know, what you think is your goal to your longevity?
Well, I just think, the persons that brought me into Morehouse, they made a commitment. The athletic director, president, board of trustees, and Morehouse we have a pretty solid foundation. It's they commit to their coaching staffs here. No question about it. The head basketball coach, he just passed away. God rest his soul. Grady Brewer. He was here for 20 plus years. Our head track coach has been here now over 40 years.
Wow.
Our head tennis coach. He's been here over 20 years.
Can I have a job with you so I can get some job security?
Well, let me finish. But those guys that you bring into Morehouse, especially the football jobs, sometimes, you have to know how to navigate. We are a small college, even though we have as much prestige as we had prior to that. You still don't have as many resources to be able to hire and do some of the things. So it's got to be the right fit. It's got to be someone that knows how to juggle the X's and O's of their particular sport, and it also knows how to work with less. Yeah. So I would think that would be one thing that has been good. The administration has been behind me because we've been creative in working with less, not being able to afford a guy like Johnnie Cole.
Yeah. Let me step in real quick, Coach. Want to shoot a shout out to Trey Pike. He said, Coach Keaton LC Cole is going to help you win, guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
And Essence Feats told you to keep preaching. and Coach Robert Taylor told us, man, that it's a great conversation. And, so I wanted to shout out to some of my listeners. They come on all the time, but it's I think it's time to, let me again give you some information. In the 70s, they started a Black Coaches association called United Coaches. And they started it back then. and then they went on to the BCA. Y'all remember the BCA? Some of y'all think you remember. Now they got the Black Coaches Coalition, and it's all about. It's the same thing, you guys. It's time to do something different. You know, it's time to do a show like this. It's time to get in front of some decision makers. You know what I mean? Just like they put in affirmative action. You know, and I want to get together, you know, as I was thinking about having you guys on, we need to put together a list of HBCU coaches that got potential to be head coaches on that level, the level they own. It don't matter, but we need to put together our list. They always put together, and you know this, Mike, a Division I A level. I'm the running back coach. I know more than Coach Keaton, and he only had four losing seasons in 20 years. How in the hell can the running back coach? You know what I mean? Or for you, Mike, because I coached, the wide receivers from Oregon, I know no more than a Michael Armour that's been a coordinator at different schools, up for a head job. It's crazy. Or of course, my man, Coach Freeman, has been in the spot for 12 years. You know, those are some of my ideals. You know, what you think, Coach Keaton? I'm going to start off with you. What you think about? We need some solutions, man. You know?
I think we need solutions, but we also, once we get to those solutions, they can't give us the worst job that they can find. So, you know, everybody was happy about Texas and Mississippi State when everybody got those jobs. Those jobs were depleted. They bring them in. We can go all the way back to the NFL when they hired my man that replaced when Tony Dungy got to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As soon as he got it right on the cuffs, they give it to somebody else that could take it on and win a championship with it. We get the worst jobs of the jobs that make us have to work 10 times harder in HBCU football. They're doing the same practice. We got all the worst jobs there is with the limited resources we can get. Let me make sure I say this. I love my president. My president I may not have all of what I want, but he give me close enough to what he think I should do to be successful. And I can appreciate that. But when you go into situations where you don't have the administration support, one or two people decide that they got a wild hair up their butt and they want to run you away, and then they criticize you because you came into a talent depleted place, and every year you getting beat and all you see is your head getting banged up. But then as soon as you get them one or two classes in there that kind of change the curve, they all of a sudden say it's time to go in a different direction. That got to be the most hurtful stuff in America. You got paid $8 million to rebuild a team, and they think you should be okay with it.
Yeah. Right. Go to Coach Brown. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Coach. I couldn't hear you at all.
I got to get you in here now. You left on me. I just want to know, you know, the other guys, we talked about the PWIs, but your case is you don't mind staying at the Black college. But what's happening now, our presidents and our athletic directors are going off to these other schools, bringing guys in when here you are, a graduate, coach there, done a great job. Now, you know, I'm not good enough to come back and coach it. Let's just say your alma mater.
Yeah. Well, you know, for me, you know, that hit home, you know, me being in Eddie Robinson last recruiting class and actually playing for Coach Doug Williams, being mentored by him, Coach Spears and Sammy White. So and Michael Roach. I've been around guys that played at the professional level, that played in the NFL. And I was taught at a young age about being a professional. And this is the way you have to do it. Even though I learned the good and the bad, don't get me wrong. I learned the good and the bad, so I'm well rounded. You know, I have a degree in engineering, so I got a chance to leave Grambling. I went to Shaw University, worked with Darryl Asbury as an offensive coordinator, so I got the Jackson State flavor in me too. So I know how Jackson State operates.
Just tell me, you don't drink Red Bull at the 50-yard line.
No. I'm already hyped and energetic enough. I don't need no help. So, you know, once we won the, Asbury gave me the opportunity to be the offensive coordinator for the first time in college, even though I had been working hand in hand with Coach Spears calling plays for a long time. It was the first time my name on the title as being the offensive coordinator. Left there, went to Alabama State with Reggie Barlow and Ty Rogers, and then our AD now, Derek Burrows. So now everywhere I went, I've worked with NFL guys, so I know how the operation. I know what they're teaching at the next level. So for me, getting the opportunity to be the head coach at Lane and helping change the culture at Lane College and bring awareness. I can be as spiritual as I want to be at Lane College. We have FCA Bible study during the week. I'm right now. I'm happy with the job I have right now at Lane College. Can it be better? Absolutely, but we need the economics and the fees and the funds and the support of the community to give the kids things that they need to be successful, just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Kids will want to come to your school if they see certain things. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We shouldn't still be in a situation where we fighting for a new field house. We fighting to get new uniforms. We fighting to get all these blow up and drop screens and the new technology of doing film. These are things that some schools in middle school right now have, talking about automatically having field turf. I mean, that should be something that's automatic. Having a field house for your football team and a outstanding weight room.
Hey, have Dion, invite Dion up. I mean, he went over to Mississippi Valley, and go help them out with their practice field. Maybe he can get something for you guys up there.
Well, I don't know if Dion gonna come and help Lane College. They want to play us this year, and I told him no, not this, Coach Freeman. I told him no, Coach. I told him no. But we are going to Pine Bluff and we are going to Tennessee State. So
Wow.
I understand the economic side of it, and I understand, okay, we do have to go raise money to make money, but at the same time, I'm trying to do like every other coach, be healthy enough that last month of the season to make that run. We decided not to put our kids in that situation, especially midway through the season, Coach. We have guys. I wanted to say this too, Coach. We have guys that have, like myself, homegrown, graduated from HBCU, been at HBCU, that deserve opportunity at the next level, whether it's the head coach or being a PWI. And then we got guys, and this is what I don't understand. You got guys who played at PWI that don't give an opportunity to go back to their old school or PWI to get a job. So now that's why our administration starts to look elsewhere. But we do have qualified guys that have come through the ranks through HBCUs that qualify to be head coaches and coordinators, not just at our school, but anywhere, Coach. Anywhere. And that's my man. Anywhere, Coach. Anywhere. And we got numbers, we got stats. I know Ted was talking about here because I got numbers and stats too, Coach.
Hey, look, Bernie, I promise you, I keep up with it,
Y'all do it so much like I was when I was in my 40s.
I keep up with it. I'm coming, Vernon. I'm gonna do like Asbury used to do me every week when I got ready to play. He called me all week playing I'm the greatest.
It muted me again.
Hey, Keith, he won't say that around me because he know I put 68 on him. And had him falling to his knees after the game with tears in his eyes. I helped him up, Coach, and gave him football. But let's change gears for a minute. We get to the end, but again, talking about being CEOs, Keith, you kind of mentioned about hiring LC Cole. I'll start with you. When you hire your staff, what you look for?
I'm looking for a person that can help complement me. I know areas that I may be shortfalling in or area that I may not be as good in. You hire people around you that know how to do the job. I'm not hiring my friend. I'm not hiring somebody that just come along. Michael works with a guy that worked for me, Tavares Bowman.
Oh, yeah.
He worked for me in Lakeland. And Tavares will tell you in a minute now, I'm probably I'm hard to work for sometimes, but I believe in getting a job done. And the right people I want is the people that can get a job done. I think that sometimes we get caught up with hiring, homeboy called down the street and say he want to be the DC. You got your friends or the president or somebody at the college got a nephew that want to get into coaching and they want you to hire that person. Not me. I'm going to handpick the people that I know. I'm going to interview them thoroughly, regardless of their race, creed, whatever they come from, background. I don't care if he played at PWI or he did. If he can get on that board, he can tell me how to do things. And it's another thing about not just being able to. I don't care how much the coach knows. It's how much he can articulate to the kids to help them understand what to do, how to do it, and why it's important for them to do it that way. And I love coaches that are simple. That's one thing I love about LC. LC is very simple. It seems complex, but it's very simple. And it helps the kids play fast. It helps the kids understand, real fast that they could pick something up. In 15 days, we installed a defense, and I was very impressed with it because he was stopping me. He was slowing me down. He bring different coverages at us that my quarterback, when we can iron each other, it helps the kids grow as well because we got that competition at practice. So when we get to the game, it's just practice.
Yeah. Coach Brown, I like your staff because, I believe in older coaches.
Yes,
just
sir.
helping out younger coaches. When you were choosing your staff, what was your thoughts?
Well, what I want to do was make sure I put some guys around me that was mature, that was older, that had been in the game and had seen things because my assistant head coach is Derek McCall. And Coach McCall, old Jackson State quarterback, was the interim coordinator, head coach 3 or 4 times at Jackson State. And he's coaching my quarterbacks now. I told him his job is to be the assistant head coach. And, he going to handle some off the field things like hotel rooms and small stuff like that. But his job mainly is to help me manage the game. You see what I'm saying? And, when you get caught up as a young coach, you're so feisty, you're so fired, you're not looking at the whole big picture, the operation of what's going on. Because being an offensive guy, your first mindset on 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, where you at is to go for it, coach.
Right.
And coaches just think about the flow of the game. My defensive coordinator is Coach Mike Vike. Coach Mike Vike was the defensive coordinator for Pete Richardson in the early 90s.
Yeah,
so
Coach Vike been everywhere, Coach.
And Vike is a professional, Coach.
Yeah,
Vike is a professional. He gonna come in. He gonna do it right every day. You're gonna get the same thing from him. Also, his defense is simple too, Coach. And it was easier for the kids to pick up on it. And we're going to have more success with that defense because last year was the first year that we was in it. And I want to mixed with that, I wanted to put some younger guys around me that I could help teach and mold from a young coach point of view. And then they can get it from Coach Vike and Coach McCall from an older coach. Because sometimes as a young coach, you think you know everything. But like my old boss used to say, your ass knows what your ass knows not. You don't know.
Well, hey, Coach Armour, go ahead, man. What you think?
Whenever I get that opportunity again, first of all, I will surround. I'm kind of like what Coach Keaton said. Guys that compliment me, guys that's going to make me better as a head coach, guys that's already had some head coaching experience that I can learn from. But also, I got to have some guys in there that can get in those households and get them to my campus, and also keep them on the team because this transfer portal thing is it's crazy because you have to recruit your own players now, and you can't discipline them like you want to. Some of them you can't even talk to them hard, like coach them hard as you used to do. They're ready to get in the portal, but somebody that compliments me, that can convey the ideas and also the X and O's, and also develop them off the field as well to make them the great young men and husbands. That's the big thing. You got, we always talk about making sure that you grab, getting your degree. That's important. I think a lot of guys that's on our team that enter the portal, they've already graduated from college, so they want to try other opportunities. But the big thing that you got to do is surround yourself with guys that are positive, not looking to leave after 1 year. Hey, you're in here, maybe not for the long haul, but to develop as well as a coach. Right. And if that opportunity comes, hey, God bless you. I'll give you my blessings, and hey, I'll make a phone call, whenever it's needed, and you ask for it, I'll definitely give you a call. But that's the thing. Whenever I get that opportunity, and like I said, that opportunity had came 10 years ago, actually 12 years ago now. I'm better prepared for it now. I don't think maybe I wasn't, but you got to learn on the run. And now I believe I'm really, really prepared for it now.
Coach Free.
Yes, sir.
You've been quiet over there.
Yeah.
Tell my audience, of course, everybody got these players. How can they get in touch with you? This ain't no NCAA violation. But guess what, guys? I don't give a dang. They can't do nothing to me. My check don't come from there no more. But how can they get in touch with your school or recruit try to get in touch? They just got to call the school. How does it work now?
Yeah, well, two things, Coach. I definitely want to chime in on the question that you asked Byron, Teddy, and Mike Armour as well. I would be remiss if I could chime in on that whole piece. Coach Gillum taught me a long time ago, either you change with time or you be consumed by the change of time.
Mm-hmm.
That question that you asked those three about what do you think about when you hire coaches, it was a little bit different for me 15 years ago, back in 2007, than it is now in 2022. I look at things a little different because we've lost a few players over my career due to suicide and some other things. So real quick, I know our time is running out, but I believe in presence, character, and intellect. So I'm looking for those things when we and character is real big when we talk about hiring coaches. But real quick on my getting in touch with me, rfreeman@morehouse.edu. Send me an email. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'll put my cell phone number out there. My cell phone number is 404-427-8540. And I do so because I'm appreciative to anybody that's listening to this call.
Yeah. What about you, Coach Keith? How can they reach you?
You can reach me on all social media platforms. You can reach me at tkeaton@allenuniversity.edu, or you can call my personal cell. It's 205-826-8504.
Okay, Coach Brown.
Yes, sir. You can reach me on Twitter at Brown31. V as in Victor, YRON Brown, and then 31. My school email is vbrown@lanecollege.edu. And then my personal cell phone is area code 318-393-3539.
All right. Coach, what you got there?
Well, this is a social media generation. You can reach me on my Twitter. It's Armour. That's ARMOUR, and the number's 223. You can also reach me by my email, which is michael.armour@UNCO. Which is area code 970-381-0523.
All right, guys. Good. We chopped it up, man. Your last words. I'm gonna start off with you, Coach Armour. Your last, make it sweet.
Oh
short.
Man, whenever that opportunity comes again, guys. Like I said, I've actually been coaching in HBCU. That's even though I play in the PWI, but my background is HBCU football. And when given the opportunity, man, I'd love to have that opportunity and chance. And I know I got some guys that'll be backing me.
Coach Brown.
Yes, sir. Final notes, thoughts. This is a great platform.
Oh yeah,
I know,
no doubt.
I know all spoke some things. Well, I hope we help some guys out there with some knowledge. But guys, be ready. I was always taught if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And every interview that I've had, I've never really had to do a presentation because my work had already spoke for itself. It was just the intellect and being able to have conversations with the people in the room that made the difference. Surround yourself with guys that can recruit. Surround yourself with some guys that can articulate, some guys that are truthful, some guys that are loyal, and then you'll go a long way.
Yeah. Go ahead, Coach Freeman.
Just to all those guys that's gonna get into this chair, it's more than just getting a job, man. More than just being able to get a big budget, more than being able to score a whole lot of points, shut people down, so on and so forth. Man, you're actually dealing with people that have problems in real time, and so once you get into these positions, and I know we're on a different wave now, hiring, some of these celebrities to bring visibility, and they're doing a good job, no question about it. I just think we have to be creative to be able to leverage that. We got to find a way. We've been doing it for years as African Americans. You got to know where you are and be able to leverage it and bring the best out of it. So once we get into these seats, let's understand that these kids are watching us, and for 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, or even 1 year, the things that we do when we think they're not watching, they're watching us and they can see it. And it's going to cause an impact on their lives over the next 40 to 50 years. So let's be intentional once we get these jobs, and let's know that we don't have all our lives to be head coaches.
And let's hire some brothers. Go ahead, Coach Keaton.
Well, I got 2 things, well, 3 things really here. One, Johnny, I want to thank you for the opportunity for this platform. I think it's time for us to have a real conversation, not a phony one, not a milk down conversation, a real, true, honest conversation about the state of HBCU football and football in the whole. The second thing is I want to thank Rich Freeman. We've never had a chance to talk publicly about this, but when I
think he froze up.
Yeah,
Coach Keaton froze up. I'm not thinking it, but I appreciate it.
He was gonna thank you, Coach.
Hey, guys, I'd like to thank you guys for coming out and spending this hour, talking. And I want you to go back and dialogue and get back with me. We need some solutions, though.
Yes.
Like I said, they put together this 10 list, and if you ain't in a PWI school, you're not eligible for the list, which I think is crazy. And like Keaton was saying before he got interrupted, we need to have some real conversations in front of the right people, not in front of us. I remember back in 87, 88 when the coach Lou Holtz talked to us at the BCA and said, ain't none of y'all in here getting nobody no jobs. He shouldn't be able to say that, but it was true. You can't argue with truth. There ain't none of y'all gonna give us a job. And that's when you look at the football, the playing field, all you see is us. So I think we need some solutions. Right. I've been trying to reach out to Van Malone. He's with the NCAA diverse committee. I've called him. He hadn't called me back. So I'm, me, Freeman, I'm gonna keep calling until he calls me. I'm gonna get in front of some folks because I'm serious about this. Mm-hmm. I'm not the angry coach. I'm not the this could probably my call. You know what I'm saying? I know I can do that. Let me make that. But we got to come up with some solutions, man. And maybe what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give me a top 20 black college guys who are ready for head coaching jobs, and see if we can't send that out and see what kind of pull we get from that. We know that we got to have a diverse staff. We know how to coach all kind of kids, coaching. They kids to us, like 2 kids get together, black kid. That stuff is taught, and we not taught that. We just want our fair, the economic part of it. It's about the money. I'm not afraid to say it's somewhat about the money. If I'm doing the same job, I should be getting the same pay. Again, thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
And I'll be in touch.
Thank you, Coach.
We'll do this again and chop it up. And good luck this season.
Yeah. Good seeing you guys, man. It's been a pleasure.
Good seeing you. Good seeing you, Coach Free. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Same. Likewise.
All right. Later, Coach.
Yeah. All right. Ending it again. Great show. Hopefully these guys have impressed you enough to get there. And like I said, this show is about helping America and bringing things together and giving people opportunity, both on just a job side, but an economical side as well. And, I want to thank again, AJ Jones, JM&E, Slow Burn. Thank you. Next week, same channel, same back time. Enjoyed it.
Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Monday, May 16th, 2022. Number 1. The Saturday afternoon shooting at a Buffalo, New York grocery store, in which at least 10 people were killed and 3 people wounded, was described as a hate crime allegedly carried out by an 18-year-old identified as Peyton Gendron. The white man may have scoped out the area as he went looking for a lot of black people. 11 of the shooting victims were black. 2 were white. Among the victims, African-American security guard and retired Buffalo police officer Aaron Salter Jr. The gunman was arrested without injury to himself and initially charged with 1 count of first-degree murder. Number 2, a growing shortage of baby formula has millions of parents, grandparents, and other concerned adults at their wits' end. 43% of the nation's baby formula supply is out of stock. Major formula producer Abbott shut down its plant in February and recalled products over fears of contamination. Several babies became ill after ingesting the Abbott products. This followed reports of problems at the Michigan plant last year and early this year. The Abbott facility is especially important for its production of special types or varieties of baby formulas. Number 3, the U.S. toll from the coronavirus has surpassed a once unthinkable milestone of 1 million deaths. Additionally, the pandemic has left an estimated 199,000 children in the U.S. without one or even both of their parents. Through wave after wave, the virus has compiled a merciless chronology of loss. Read more about it in today's newsletter. Number 4. An independent autopsy report concluded that Jalen Randall, a 26-year-old black man, was shot in the back of the neck when he was killed by a Houston police officer late last month. According to the findings presented by civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, 2 of Randall's vertebrae were fractured by the bullet when he was killed April 27th. Attorney Crump has demanded police release body cam footage of the shooting. Number 5, Ernie Barnes' 1976 painting, The Sugar Shack, familiar to millions of TV viewers for its use during the credits of the 1970s sitcom Good Times, sold at auction in New York City last week for $15.3 million. According to Christie's Auction House, the sale set an auction record for Barnes' work by more than 27 times the artist's previous record and was 76 times the high estimate of $200,000. The 10-minute auction drew 22 bidders, including the winner, African-American businessman Bill Perkins of Houston. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Self-care is self-love. Love yourself to health. In honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, we are partnering with the Public Welfare Foundation to give away $500. Please go to my Instagram, Sybil Wilkes, for more information and to sign up. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with the hilariously funny Chris Paul and Huggy Lowdown and social justice activist Coy Malone as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the American Heart Association. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.